Good morning, Internet. Welcome to part 2 of my surface grinder rebuild video series. In this part, I get this cleaned up and painted. If you're interested in seeing that, stay tuned. Before I can do anything else, I need to get this cleaned up, and we'll see what's hiding under all this dirt and grime. I soon realized that I could remove the paint just as quickly as I could clean it. So I'm going to use the needle scaler and we're going to take this paint off. There's 90 years worth of grease hiding in here, but no dinosaurs. So I'm trying to figure out why I don't have any movement. So I pulled this cover off. You saw me clean it out. It was pretty nasty in there. I was hoping I could see up in there and see what this is connected to. I can't see up in there. I tried an inspection mirror, that didn't work either, so I think I'm gonna have to pull the table off. I'm about ready to paint this, but first I'm going to wipe it down with some mineral spirits, make sure everything's good and clean. I've removed as much of the old paint as I can and wiped the machine down. It's finally ready for paint. I'm using Rustoleum's oil-based enamel. This one is smoke gray. I chose this gray because the machine was originally gray, and, well, this is the only gray I could find locally. So turn up that free YouTube provided music and let's get to painting. Now that was a lot of work, but what a difference a couple coats of paint make. You didn't expect me to wait for that paint to dry, did you? Let's put some things back on. Now that looks better. It's starting to look like a real machine now. And at the risk of patting myself on the back too hard, I think this looks really good. So somehow I managed to record 2 days of progress without audio. So you probably will have seen me clean and repaint this as a montage. While I was repainting this, I found a couple of things that I need to address now. The biggest thing being badly worn bushings for the x-axis control. The other being a worn cam for the automatic slide. So these are the bushings that go on the gear that moves the axis when you turn the handle or when you engage the automatic feed. You can see they're quite egg-shaped, and so what is happening is as you turn that handle or as the table moves, the shaft rocks side to side and it's worn these bushings oval. These seem to be made out of steel, which seems odd to me. I would have expected bronze or brass, some sort of a bearing, and these really don't feel like they ever had a bearing surface. So another thing I noticed when I had this apart, or when I was cleaning this up and painting it, is that this knob, it's got a cam profile that controls start and stop of the reversing mechanism. It acts on this plunger, and you can see that plunger move there. And it's got a cam profile to help control movement of that plunger. Somebody has brazed it in the past, and you can see how worn it is. So it looks like that wore through the cast iron, and then it wore again through the brazing. So to fix this, I think I'm going to grind out this brass and build this up with weld and then re-ground the profile, probably on my belt sander. The other problem here is that somebody has notched this plunger out, probably in an attempt to get better clearance, but it's putting all the force on a very small edge here. That edge is only about 1/8 of an inch. So the force on that is all riding on this soft brass, which is why it wore out. So I think not only am I going to have to build this up and grind a new profile, but I'm also going to have to remove this plunger and build a new face, or find a way to put a new face on it. So I've got this painted, it's back together about as far as I can get it. I still need to replace the bushings that support the table drive gear, and I need to rebuild this cam mechanism that I showed you earlier. So we're kind of at a stopping point. I'm going to call this the end of part 2. Keep an eye out though, because in part 3, I'm going to show you how to rebuild this cam mechanism, and I'm also going to show replacement of those bushings. I ordered some new ones from McMaster, but they're not the right size, so I'll need to turn those down in the lathe, and we'll have to make them fit and then press them in. I mean, both should be interesting. Hopefully it goes smoothly. So if that interests you, consider subscribing. That way, when I get that video done, you'll know about it. So I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this, especially if you made it through part 1 and now the end of part 2. You know, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching.